on? It's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my end of summer book haul. I consider the beginning of August the end of summer because when I was growing up, I always went back to school in August, and that was the end of my summer. Even though August is a summer month, but I consider August like fall. So this is the end of my summer haul. The majority of these books are library books because my holds all decided to come in on the same day. And so I'm not going to be buying any more books this month in August. And I may not buy any in September because I want to be focusing on my daughter's birthdays and Christmas. So I know it's way in advance, but I buy things in advance. Anyways, that's not what I'm talking about today. I got a bunch of books. So majority is library. I got some books from publishers this month. And then I bought 4 books. And yeah. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with the library. And so the first 2 things are not books, but they're DVDs. And me and my kids and my husband are watching Studio Ghibli. And so we watched Castle in the Sky and Howl's Moving Castle. We loved Howl's Moving Castle better than Castle in the Sky. I fell asleep during this, so it was not my favorite. So this is the 4th we've watched so far this summer. Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and then Castle in the Sky is my ranking for Studio Ghibli. The next one we're going to watch is My Neighbor Totoro. So I'm super excited. My kids, I homeschool my kids if you are new to my channel. And my kids I gave them 2 summer reading books. And they finished one already. And they haven't even started the second one. And we start school in less than 5 days. So great. So they finished Mara, the Daughter of the Nile by Eloise Jarvis McGraw today, and it's about a slave turned countess in ancient Egypt. Then I recently talked about this in my July wrap-up part 2, and that is Slingshot by Matthew Dunn. This is book 3 in the Spycatcher series about a MI6 spy doing missions, particularly to keep the world from going into World War. Those 4 things are going back to the library tomorrow because I've read them. So I'm currently reading The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is part of my Classics Club 5-year goal, and I will link my blog and the Classics Club link down below if you are interested. And so far I am 12 chapters in. I'm listening to it on audiobook, and I'm listening to it at 1.75 speed, and I'm bored. I think the first chapter, The Customs House, was unnecessary, and Nathaniel Hawthorne was just running off at the mouth. Okay, now to the books that I have not read yet. This is the 2nd book that my kids are going to be reading, hopefully, and finish before school starts on Monday, but I highly doubt that. And it is The Golden Goblet by Eloise Jarvis McGraw. Again, it takes place in ancient Egypt, I think. I started a to Z nonfiction global challenge back in 2019, and last year it was put on pause because of freaking COVID, and it shut down my libraries. So I'm reading 2 books off my list this month, and that is The Quest for Anastasia by John Clyer and Helen Mcgee, is Solving the Mystery of the Lost Romanovs. And I'm also reading Xanadu for Marco Polo and Europe's Discovery of the East by John Mann. So this is for Q and X, and I'm super excited to read these. So I have a feeling that they're going to go fast, even though sometimes, depending on how nonfiction is worded, like if it's being told like a story, then I fly through it. But if it's like facts and boring and monotonous, then I take like forever to read it and just bore to tears. This was an impulse put on my holds list at the library because I watched Long Way Around with Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman on Apple TV Plus, and I loved it. It's about a motorcycle journey from London all the way around the world to New York. They go through Europe and Ukraine, Russia, Mongolia, and they go on the Road of Bones in Russia. And I needed the book as a companion because sometimes when documentaries, they don't put everything in, and usually what gets cut out they put in books. So I can't wait to see the pictures. And let's see, the series, if you have not watched Long Way Round, Long Way Up, or Long Way Down, I highly recommend it. It's on Apple TV. Next one is Life of Pi by Yann Martel. I chose this one day while looking at my Goodreads TBR, and then I was choosing my bingo board for the readathon, and this fits one of the prompts. I'm still making my list, and that video will be coming soon. So I am super excited to read this. I've always been interested with the movie, especially the tiger, because tigers are one of my favorite animals. But yes, highly recommend, highly anticipated. A book that my daughter, my oldest, my 12-year-old, read and loved was Werewolf, Rise of the Wolf by Curtis Jobling. I bought the 4th book a couple years ago from Dollar Tree, and my daughter has been eyeballing it and she wants to read it, and so she was like, Mama, can you just pick up the 1st book for me from the library, see if I want to read it? And I got it, and she loved it. So naturally, she like, can you get book 2? Here's book 2. It's Werewolf, Rage of the Lions by Curtis Jobling. And immediately when I gave it to her, she was like, this is thinner than the first one. And I'm like, don't get me started. So I got her book 2, and this is Christmas presents. She wants her own copies, but I can do that. In the last 5 library books, I got book 6 in Amulet, Escape from Lucian, and my oldest, my 12-year-old, she started the series back in January because she made a list of books she wanted to read for the year, and this was one of them, and she got me to read the first one, and we've been reading each volume every month since. And my little favorite character is the Wyvern, and Cogsley, love him. And this is very thick. I know that I thought the 9th volume, the final volume, was coming out this year, but that is no longer happening, so that's sad, but I'm excited to get to that. I also picked up 2 travel guides, a pocket Charleston and Savannah, top sites and local experiences. I live in South Carolina, and I love finding new or hidden gems in my state, and I've been to Charleston a handful of times, and I've always seen something different, and I just want to see some new things. I've never been to that fountain. I've never been to the pineapple fountain, and I want to explore Savannah. Me and my kids really want to go on a road trip where I'm fully vaccinated. My kid has not been vaccinated yet. Even though she's of age, she's still wanting to wait. Like I said, I homeschool, so it's not necessary for me to get her vaccinated yet because we stay home. Only my husband works, and my husband is fully vaxxed, and yeah, he has a good routine going. But anyways, and I also got Lonely Planet Eastern USA because, like I said, once the pandemic is over, we're going to be taking some road trips, and I'm going to start planning now. Hopefully that some of the places that are mentioned in here are still open for business and not been closed due to COVID or bankrupt, or, you know, that's the only thing that makes me a little antsy about planning road trips right now, is because things may close. People are losing businesses and jobs, and yeah, so yeah. And this was the updated version that came out in 2018. So this is the only copy that my library had, but I may buy the updated version that came out in 2019 or coming out next year in January. So yeah, a book that I totally forgot that I put it on my request list for. It's The Changeling by Victor Lavale. I totally forgot what this book was about and why I requested it in the first place, but it's chunky, and it's about a girl's father disappearing, and all he left behind was a box of books stamped with the word improbabilia. Now, Paula is a father himself, and are settling into new lives as parents. Exhaustion and anxiety start to take their toll. So, I gotta remember why I requested this, because I really don't know. I think it's like a horror book, because it's got these funky looking trees and then a baby in a basket. I don't know. And then the last one, I have books 5 and 6 in this series, and I have been, my library, I thought they didn't have the first book, but it's under a different name, because the book 5 and 6 I have, it's Charles Hickson, and this is Charlie Hickson. I don't know, but it's The Enemy, and the cover, it's not my favorite. I like the other covers, but it's got black sprayed pages, and it's about a devastating disease that has struck everyone over the age of 16, and those who didn't die from it have turned into decomposing brainless creatures that survive by feeding on anything that's still alive, including children. So it's like a zombie apocalypse in the UK or London, and I'm really intrigued. I love zombie books, but yeah, disease, maybe a little hit too close to home. The next stack is from publishers. These two books right here came from a Kellogg's Family Rewards program, and it's, you buy a certain product, then you get to choose a book to own or donate to your local school. I go back and forth. Whenever it's like this time I did own, so the next time I will donate to my local elementary school. So I got these two, and it is Fly Girl by Sherry L. Smith. It's about World War II pilots. And then I got American Royals by Catherine Mcgee. I've heard a lot of great things about this, like if George Washington decided to become king instead of president. And yeah, I know that the second book is out now, Majesty by Catherine Mcgee. Duh. So I got these from Penguin Random House because they partner with Kellogg's. So thank you, Kellogg's, for donating to schools and donating to homeschool families and giving them the opportunity. And then these 5 are for blog tours. So I work with Rockstar Book Tours, and first one I got was The Infamous Frankie Lord Going Wild. This is book 2 in the Frankie Lord series by Brittany Garagatelis. I don't know how to pronounce that. And it's about a girl that becomes a heist person. I'm not reading this one. I am going to read this one, but I'm not going to read a synopsis. But this comes out August 21st. And I already got the first book, but I bought that one. So I'll show y'all that in my buy stack. And then I got these 3 together. So these 2 are board books. It's Women in Sports, that came in real handy when we were watching the Olympics, and Women in Science, and both of these are by Rachel Ignotovsky, and just goes into detail about famous women that were in sports, and it has timelines and like different types of sports, like wheelchair racer and jockey and basketball player, soccer player, and it goes all the way from when women could compete in sports and when they like defied rules and became like legends to modern day, like Simone Biles and Serena Williams. One thing that I did have a problem with is that it didn't have one of my favorite figure skaters that I watched growing up, and that was Michelle Kwan. This one, Women in Science, it goes into detail about astronomy and chemist and mathematician, Hypatia, and then a physicist, a computer scientist, a psychologist, and then it's got type of tools, a marine biologist, Mae Jemison, astronaut, a volcanologist, Ada Lovelace. It's great. And my middle child, my 10-year-old, she really likes this. She's very interested in science and she wants to be an astronaut one day. So yes. And then this is the newest one by Rachel Ignotovsky. That's a mouthful. And it's What Inside a Flower and Other Questions About Science and Nature. It goes into detail about the roots and the stem and what kind of animals, worms and bugs, ladybugs, how bees and butterflies help pollinate and stuff, and how the leaves make oxygen, and yeah, like the pistil and this. Ooh, hello. Yeah, and it has resources for other stuff about plants and websites and like a bibliography. A blog tour that I didn't sign up for, but I'm going to like complete it anyway. It's Only My Dog Knows I Picked My Nose by Lauren Tarshish, illustrated by Lisa Bronson Mizoff, and it comes out this fall. And my youngest daughter read this and she goes, "Ew," and it's so funny. So yeah, it comes out in stores on September 7th, 2021. So if you have little ones and you like new picture books, then pick this up for them. But the dog is cute. Last 4 books are the ones that I bought. So I read City of Heavenly Fire last month, or in June, July. I don't remember. And I loved it. And it mentioned the Shadowhunters Codex a lot. So, and I wasn't going to buy this book because I didn't want to just buy all the books. I'm not going to buy the graphic novels. I'm not going to read them. I didn't want to buy this because I thought it was unnecessary, but it mentioned it so much that I was like, fuck it. I need it. And then I also want to read the annotations by Simon and Jason Clary. And it's got pretty end papers, and it's got the Mortal Cup. So yes, I'm going to be reading this, and then I'm going to be reading the Bane Chronicles. Can't wait. Magnus Bane is my favorite. This is by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis, and I'm pretty sure it's got illustrations. So I'm going to be picking this up next month. Okay. The next one, I got the second book for a blog tour spot. It's already up on my blog if you want to read it. It's just a spotlight tour because I have not even read the first one, but I read the short story in The Cursed Carnival and Other Calamities by Rick Riordan and the Rick Riordan Presents authors. So I had to pick this one up because this story, the Paula Santiago story in that book, was my absolute favorite one. And this is Paula Santiago and the River of Tears by Taylor K. Mejia. This is Mexican mythology, and I think she has to defeat or battle La Llorona. And I have a feeling that I'm going to mix this up with another book about Mexican mythology that I read this year, Charlie Hernandez and the Circle of Shadows, or League of Shadows. and I don't want to get them mixed up, but I really want to read this. And it's got a dog. It's got Dante from Coco, even though I don't know if that's Dante. But she's got a friend named Dante, so that's going to be a struggle. Coco is one of my favorite Disney movies. But anyways, I'm so excited to read this. I love every Rick Riordan Presents book, and I love mythology in general. So I read Queen of Hearts back in May, and I fell in love with the story. So much so that I had to immediately buy book 2. And that never happens, because I take my time on series. And I bought book 2, Blood of Wonderland by Colleen Oakes, and it was fantastic. I have not read this yet, but I can't wait. I want to pick it up right now and just read, but I'm not going to do that because I got other books to read. I got that whole fucking library stack to read. So I'm going to be trying to get to this in September or October. Maybe September. I don't know, but I'm super excited. I got to see if the Duchess was part of the whole takeover. And the last book I bought goes with the infamous Frankie Lord Going Wild. This is the first book, The Infamous Frankie Lord Stealing Greenwich by Brittany Dragatellis. And this is book 1 in that series. It's about a girl named Frankie Lord and her dad have been a team as long as Frankie can remember. Being tutored under the man responsible for some of the world's biggest heists has given Frankie a unique perspective on the world and a special set of life skills. Frankie can spot an FBI agent in a second, pick a lock in 2 seconds, and steal a Bugatti in 3. Then dad is arrested. So it's about a teenage thief. And I'm into it. So I'm going to be reading this. I was not given this copy. I bought it because I was just sent the sequel, and I need the first book to read it. So yeah, that's my book haul for July and August. Even though it's the beginning of August, this is my August haul. And yeah, so I hope you're enjoying your summer and that you have a good end of summer. And I know some people are like already decorating for fall. I'm not one of those people because I dislike extreme hot temperatures and extreme cold temperatures. Fall is one of my least favorite seasons. Winter coming close second or first, depending on how cold it is here. And so anyways, I want to stop talking about that. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in my next video.